A subscription you don't use anymore, kept because you already paid for the year. A relationship, a job, a project, kept going not because it's working, but because of how much you've already put into it. Let's fix that. The sunk cost trap is treating past investment as a reason to continue, even when the thing you invested in stopped serving you. The logic feels intuitive. I've already put in so much. Quitting now would waste it. But the money, time, or effort already spent is gone regardless of what you decide next. Continuing doesn't recover it. It just risks spending more on top of a loss that already happened. This trap is powerful precisely because it feels like responsibility rather than error. Walking away can feel like admitting the earlier investment was wasted. And that feeling of loss is uncomfortable enough that continuing often seems like the emotionally safer choice, even when it's the more expensive one. The trap doesn't announce itself as I'm making an irrational decision. It shows up dressed as loyalty, perseverance, or simply not wanting to be someone who quits, which makes it much harder to notice from the inside than from watching someone else make the same mistake. The fix is asking a different question entirely. Not how much have I already put in, but knowing what I know now. Would I choose to start this today? If the honest answer is no, the sunk cost is already gone either way, and continuing only adds new cost on top of the old one. The only relevant question is what serves you going forward, not what you've already spent. This reframing works because it deliberately removes the past from the equation, which is exactly where it doesn't belong in a forward-looking decision. The money is spent whether you continue or stop. The time is spent whether you continue or stop. The only thing actually still in your control is what happens from this point forward. And that decision should be made purely on the merits of what's ahead, not on what's already behind you and can no longer be changed by anything you do now. Someone who stays purely because of past investment keeps feeding a project, relationship, or habit that isn't working, adding new time and effort to a loss that's already locked in. Someone who evaluates fresh, ignoring what's already spent, frees up that same time and effort for something that actually has a future. And a year later, one of them has more of both to show for it. Picture both a year from now. The person who stayed has sunk another year of time and effort into something that was already failing when they noticed the first warning signs. The total loss has simply grown larger, not smaller, for having continued. The person who walked away redirected that same year towards something that had a real chance of working. And even if that new thing wasn't perfect either, it wasn't guaranteed to fail from the outset the way the abandoned option was. First, when deciding whether to continue something, explicitly ignore how much you've already invested. It's gone either way and shouldn't factor into the decision. Second, ask would I start this today, knowing what I know now is the real test. Third, treat walking away from a bad investment as protecting your future time, not wasting your past time. A useful way to apply the second tip. Imagine a friend describing this exact situation to you, with no mention of how long they've already been in it, and ask what you'd honestly tell them to do. Removing your own history from the framing often makes the right call obvious in a way it never is from the inside. For the third tip, replace the word quitting with reallocating in your own head. It's a small language shift, but it correctly describes what's actually happening, not abandonment, redirection. You've already put in so much, that's not a reason to continue. The only question that matters is whether it still serves you. Next episode, never miss twice, the fastest way back on track after a slip. Follow along so you don't miss it.